welcome to Culture on I-24 News. I'm Glenn Grober. Thanks for joining me today as well. On our program, we'll talk to the creator of a documentary series about Israeli Nobel laureates. A look at the new home of the Whitney Museum. And we'll hear some new music from Cape Verde. In the past 13 years, no less than 8 Israelis received one of the highest honors in the world, the Nobel Prize. Filmmaker Uri Rosenwax takes a look at 7 of them in a new series and explains what is it exactly they received the prize for. And now he's here in the studio to explain it to us.
Hi.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you. Hi.
So how did you set out to make this series?
In the last decade, we had so many winners of this prize, Nobel laureates in the fields of economics and science.
Right.
And we're really proud of them, but most of us don't know anything about what they won the prize for.
And for a good reason. These are very complex ideas, usually.
Yes, we're very interested in their tuxedo and how did the dance with the Queen of Sweden go at Stockholm, but we don't have a famous clue. Me too, of course. And I thought it would be interesting to access their ideas to the Israeli viewers.
Right. But that's not a simple task. I mean, these are complicated ideas. To present them for anyone to understand, how do you even go about that?
Well, my basic notion was that if I would be able to understand it, anybody could, because I'm not such a I don't know mathematics or physics, although I come from a family of scientists. And I said, if they go past through me, any viewer with no scientific background, will be able to understand it. So we took it easy, very simple, and a lot of animation and things, and also these guys know the job. I mean, most of them are, go around the world explaining their ideas, so they're used to
they already have a way to explain.
Most of them do,
yeah.
And when one of the tricks we learned that when we film them explaining to elementary kids, it's about the level that I could understand, and I gathered that if I can understand it, the viewers will understand it too. So it was a trip in that manner.
Right. So, I mean, I guess you were worried about boring your audience, but you found ways around it.
Yes, there was an essential worry, but what we understood quite early that behind every one of these breakthroughs there's a story, which is dramatic. And I tell stories with a camera. That's my job in life. And we understood that all these scientific breakthroughs are around the drama, personal story, fighting against everybody. There's all kinds of examples in the series. For instance, Daniel Shechton, which we see right now, he was considered for 20 years, for 2 decades almost, as a clown, as somebody who can't be taken seriously. And in the end, he prevailed and he saw the world was wrong.
Yeah.
So every one of them has his own
personal drama.
Private story. Right. And also, surprisingly, quite a lot of them have a sense of humor.
Which always helps.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's the discovery or the thought that they had, and it's the people themselves, which have a great effect on the show. What did you find? Is there some line that connects these people? What kind of characteristics do you need to have to become a Nobel Prize winner?
I think, first of all, it's a passion. I mean, because most of these people were credited with the prize almost 40 years after they made their discovery. It's a passion.
So it's patience.
Passion and patience. And another people say is politics also. You have to work for this prize. I didn't see that these people, most of them didn't do that. But it's a big passion and they love what they do. Most of them love science. I mean, they thrive through it. They live through science. And I think the passion is another thing that goes to the audience. You can see it. It comes out of the screen, this passion.
Yeah, definitely.
The real, in some ways, they're still attached to these ideas.
Now, 8 people in 13 years, is there an explanation to these numbers? Because that's very far from the norm.
It's very unprecedented. Most of these guys, and one woman, Ada Yonat, are in their 70s in average. It's something that it's a payoff. It's a payoff of an educational system which probably was quite good in the 40s and 50s here in Israel, and you managed to produce these guys. If you ask me if in 20 years we'll have another streak of Nobelists, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. I think maybe we will have Nobelists because there's a thin elite here in Israel that still will produce these people. The tragedy is that we didn't go in that way. We didn't. Except
it's
from
not the common role model anymore.
We celebrate their medal and tuxedo, but we don't want to go further. And these people could have been role models. I mean, if you hang around with these guys, you see that every month there's some kind of a Chinese delegation that comes, in a pilgrimage to see them and talk to them. And the Chinese are astounded by the fact that we have so many Nobel laureates. Here, they're not the role model. The role model maybe is to make money or to be a celeb or to be known for some reason, but not for, serious reasons like these guys. And I hope that in some manner the series also accomplished to show that it's fun being a scientist. Maybe it's even cool. And it's interesting for sure.
Yeah, it is very interesting. Now, I don't know if maybe because it's Israel, maybe for other reasons, but even among all these scientific ideas, politics managed to raise its head.
Yeah, in a few chapters, but only in the chapters in which, first of all, if they wanted to talk about it, or on the other hand, if it had something to do with their theories or with their disciplinary. For instance, Israel Uman, which is known for his right-wing opinions, and on the other hand, Daniel Kahneman, who is known for his left-wing ideas, and they're both in context with their theories, with their research,
which makes it kind of hard to present them with an alternate point of view.
We didn't go on alternate point of views. I think we have a 30-minute slot. We let them talk. I didn't, go and against Uman and try and hack, and try and answer his queries. I let him speak. The same with Kahneman, the same with all the others. I think the viewers are intelligent enough to see it, to think about what they say and work it out, see if it fits them or not. But starting to make some kind of debate in such a chapter, it's not what we went out to do.
Yeah. I want to zoom out a little bit and ask you about other things, because until recently you were the chairperson of the Documentary Filmmakers Association.
Yes.
And you've said something. I want to ask you about the place that you think documentary work has currently in Israel. Where do we stand?
Well, Israel is, is one of the top powers in the world in documentary, because first of all, because of the reality we live in.
There's a conflict to make documentary films of
there's dozens of conflicts. What happened in Denmark from the Ice Age happened here in a week. And we have two really good channels. One is Yes Doco, which we made the series for, and the other is the Channel 8 of Hot. And this reality of which we live in, and the character of Israeli filmmakers makes it ideal documentaries. And when you see what's happening to the press, and the amount of finance they can put into research and things like that, leave the documentary filmmakers as some kind of pioneer, in the forefront.
There's a void to fill.
Yeah, there's a void to fill, and they have the means to make it in some way, because you can concentrate on a topic for a long time. But on the other hand, it's not enough, because you need investigative journalism and such. But it has a function, and documentary movies. That's a lot of what I try to do in my past role as a chairperson, was to make more access to these films, because they give an alternative story to the country of Israel. It's very important.
We're showing it, so at least we have that. Documentary filmmaking is also something. There's an upside to everything.
Yes.
Uri, thanks so much for coming in.
You're welcome.
Moving on now, the famous Whitney Museum of American Art in New York City is moving to a new home. After 50 years in the Upper East Side, the permanent collection takes its place in an all-new building in downtown Manhattan with a new design, new spaces, and new exhibitions. Sandy Fortis reports.
28,000 tons of steel, concrete, and glass, over 20,000 square feet of space, almost 6,000 dedicated to exhibitions. After 4 years of work and $422 million invested, the new Whitney Museum is finally opening its doors. Moving from the Upper West Side to the Lower West Side, the famous Museum of American Art has left the sophisticated Madison Avenue for the trendy meatpacking district.
It's quite an amazing experience. It's very rare that you open a ground-up museum in the city of New York. There's often there are renovations or wings added, but this is the first time designed where we basically started from scratch, and we've moved the museum from uptown to downtown after 50 years.
After designing the Pompidou Center in the 1970s, the Italian architect Renzo Piano wanted this new Whitney Museum very open to the outside. High ceilings, light pine floors, and wide windows, wide terraces outdoors, and a wide glass hall. With a bonus, beautiful views of Manhattan on the east and the Hudson River on the west.
Just to say that the building for culture, for beauty, should be open, accessible, unintimidating, unpretentious. And this is what this building does. Almost you don't see where's the limit between the street and the building. You can see out, you see the traffic, you see people, pedestrians there. It's right part of the city.
Founded in 1930 by artist and philanthropist Gertrude Vanderbilt Whitney, the museum specialized in American art from the 20th and 21st century, which has about 22,000 pieces of more than 3,000 artists in its permanent collection. Its opening exhibition, America's Hard to See, is open to the public with more than 600 works by 400 artists. A quarter of them have never been exhibited.
I think one of the great things of this exhibition is that people are going to see the things they know well. Calder Circus, Edward Hopper's Early Sunday Morning, Georgia O'Keeffe, but then they're also going to see many things they haven't seen before. Actually, some of them are things we haven't seen for a very long time.
The brand new Whitney Museum welcomes public on this journey of discovery, starting May the 1st.
Can't wait. In a moment, we'll take you on a musical tour of Cape Verde, but first, our cultural recommendation for the day.
Hip-hop is coming to the Institute of the Arab World. The once underground Arab hip-hop has become in recent years an important tool for freedom of speech, sometimes playing the role of raising political and social consciousness during the Arab Spring. Sponsored by Akhenaton, leader of the French band I Am, an exhibition that illustrates the phenomenon in all its forms: music, graffiti, dance, and even fashion. The main goal, diffusion, explaining that rap has become a popular art because it is accessible to all. American culture, local language, and Oriental music. A cocktail that attracts the young today in Arab countries and that will inevitably seduce the Parisian public.
Daniel Campos is already in the studio to bring us some music from all around the world, the various places. Where are we going today? Cape Verde.
Cape Verde, you said it. Cape Verde as well. Beautiful former colony of Portugal. They have some very unique, beautiful music. The first most famous musician from this place, from these volcanic islands, which today are a country since 1975, was the one and only Cesaria Évora, legendary singer. And today we have many young musicians continuing her legacy. So let's have a look at some of the videos and also how they show the beauty of Cape Verde through their music videos.
Let's start with one.
So let's start with Mayra Andrade, Ilha de Santiago, the island of Santiago.
Let's watch.
Santiago, tem no meio, tem cacau. Minha nascia come com Zezé, meu Raul lá de fundo do beira da vaca. Ilha de Santiago, tem corquinho de algodão. Saia de chita.
What are we doing here? I wanna jump on the first plane.
That's part of the goal. The country also has a musician as Minister of Culture, so this has been very important, playing a role. They have the Creole Jazz Festival, which brings Grammy Award-winning musicians, tourists from all over the world every year to the island as well. And like I said, musicians are also using music videos. Let's have a look at another example, the latest album by Elida Almeida. Very beautiful music video as well, showcasing the culture, the landscapes, the people.
Let's check it out. So all kind of influences we can hear in the music, but mostly it's something kind of Creolean, something like that, right?
You got it right, yeah. Definitely some also influences from, we can say music from Portugal, many. Some people say there's also fado influences in the music of Cape Verde, and also obviously from rhythms from Africa, since it was once, you can say, one of the important places in which slaves were traded by slave masters. But yeah, definitely a beautiful country and very safe.
You ever been?
I'm hoping next Creole Jazz Festival.
Don't forget to take me with you. Thanks so much, Daniel.
Thank you, Dad.
That's it from us for today. I hope you enjoyed our show. We'll be back tomorrow with another one. Please be sure and join us. We'll be right here.